Well, some cuts in general that are going to happen over the next couple of weeks, but already started. If you're getting us through video, you're still going to be able to get us through video. Plenty of spaces. And good morning, by the way, 99.1 WDHY, and the rest of the Massive Media Network. Yeah, I've been up since 3:30 this morning. Yesterday, I listened to Howard. He had been up since 1 o'clock. It's a weird week, people, and we're going to get through it. Just hang in there, but it's going to be fun. So I'm making some cuts just because I'm making some improvements as well. And I'm realizing that now that we have an actual direct feed that is ours, not just something that goes to YouTube and is going to get cut, or Facebook or LinkedIn, you can get us on our own player. I have a meeting later this afternoon with one of my two web developers, and they're going to put that link on mastiff.media and yargs.com. They don't have access to yerg.com yet, actually, but we'll make all that happen. At least it'll be on mastiff.media by tomorrow. And that'll be cleaned up as well. That Linktree appearance, or this is our Linktree. No, this is our website. It was never supposed to be our Linktree. It was like using Linktree and has now allowed us to stop using Linktree. That you just heard me on that player. It sounds great. It looks great. It's damn near in real time. Real happy with it. It's going to go on the website. I just think I'm just wondering if there's code. Get player links. What a wave embeddable player. Not found. Oh, there you go. I don't know why I could do it that way, but not the other. Okay, there it is. Okay. Nice. Oh, it's got all. Oh, look at this. Oh, so happy. No. Yeah, embed the most recent, newest first. Uh, I'm not. I don't think that's it. I think that's for the podcasts. Let's try this raw video stream. Yeah, but that's published to my own website. Yeah, but I don't. I wonder if that is the same as the other. That doesn't look like the same link. See, that brings up a file. I don't understand this stuff. So, what we're doing, and if I just give you the basic link, you'll be able to see me every day, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, via video, wherever and however you want. I got to give this to the guys today so they can figure it out and get it on Mastiff Media and somehow also on Yerg's Radio. I mean, I don't know what the first developer that did Yerg's Radio is up to. I got to reach out to him, and that's my fault. But I'm dropping Restream for $100 a month to get less than what I was getting at $50 a month. Now, follow me here. If I have 8 destinations for $50 a month, you would think that I would have at least 16 destinations for $100 a month. I don't. I only had 15. Now, there were other things that were, I had more video storage, which was great if I stored videos, but I also store them on YouTube and in my own hard drive. So what do I care about that? So I'll cut back to 8. I've already cut back to 8. And I'm in a month where I'm paid for the 15. So when that expires and renews automatically, it's going to be 8. And I'll evaluate those 8, one of which will forever be this. Well, my feed from a company called SecureNet Systems, which is what all the stations use, literally. That's how you simulcast and syndicate, and well, not syndicate necessarily, but to simulcast live to multiple stations. That's what they use. That's not what all of our stations use, as I've learned. But we're making everything work. I mean, even if they put that on a button on the website, and then it opens another tab, I'm fine with that. They program that button and that tab to open. I'd rather not be another pop-up or another window, but I don't know, maybe. Let's drag this out into its own window. Well, I mean, there we go. Now I just closed the other window that had all my other tabs on it, and this is playing by itself. I can move it up there. All right, maybe into another window. And you can fill that window without filling your whole screen. Yeah, that might be a better thing. All right, we'll talk with the guys today. So how's everybody doing? And I mean that literally. How's everybody doing? Are we managing the shock? Let me know in the chat. You can now give us a call. That's right. Phones are back open. 1-888-88 YERGZ. 1-888-88 Yergs. Are you happy? Are you a Trumper? My friend Gary is also a show producer of his own show up in Pennsylvania called The Backroom Show. He just put out a post saying, really, the same thing I did a year ago. Essentially asking, not necessarily this time, mine was, what is the appeal to Donald Trump? That's over. He's asking, what is Donald Trump going to do to fulfill all of the positive campaign promises. Now, that's not talking about the stuff that we don't want him to see fulfilled, like getting rid of tens of thousands of career professionals within the federal government and putting his lackeys in there. Yeah, we'll see. But I told him, I said, why does my video, oh, that was a different feed. Why does my, I told him, I said, I ran a commercial on my own show and on my own network for a year, longer than that, asking Trump supporters seriously, without trying to be a dick, to come forward and say, here's what I like about the guy. No judgment, no argument. Just tell me what you're thinking. I got 3 people, none of whom would let me use their name. So here's this person or that person. And yeah, forget about telling anybody who I am, because apparently they are that proud of themselves. There's that. I've got my I voted sticker up there. I guess it should say I tried. But today, H.G. Wells is the morning motivation. First, I got to get the right. Up first for Pierre's Pot is to all of those who stepped up, didn't stay home. In honor of Pierre Robert, our friend at 93.3 WMMR in Philadelphia, a radio DJ hero of mine who has been there since 1981. We toast the morning sauce today in the direction, yeah, you see what that reads, in the direction of our good listeners who put forth that effort, got out and voted Tuesday or earlier, early voting, mail-in ballots, whatever, and tried to use some common sense. And ironically, you heard yesterday Philip Blackett say that's what the inspirational words the Trump administration is going to be using is common sense. I'm like, I haven't seen that in 8 years. You pick a guy who's divorced, I'm saying 3 times, and we can talk about that some other time, but I'm saying divorced 3 times as your candidate for family values. You pick, let's double that number. You pick a guy who has been bankrupted 6 times as your candidate to fix the economy that in 2017 was already good. So common sense, I don't think is a good word to describe anything coming out of Project 2025, Agenda 47, of the Trump administration. But like I said yesterday, I wish him the best, the very, very best. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to say in another 4 years from now, well, all right, it's still not my favorite candidate, never will be, with what we already is not changeable about the guy. Never going to be my favorite candidate. He's never going to be a Barack Obama. He's never going to be a Pete Buttigieg. It's not possible. Could he improve himself? I hope he does. Because if I get to sit here in 4 years from now, hopefully upstairs in the newly constructed floors of my renovated house, and say, I told you so, it will not be pretty. And you may not have been able, I'm speaking to Trump supporters now, you may not have been able to admit a poor choice this time. But when you can't afford eggs now, you can't even afford an egg in 4 years from now. Inflation has already gone up. He's not even in office yet. I'm trying. I will try. But today's Pierre's pot and the toast of the morning sauce goes to the good citizens who did their part, tried to keep peace one way or another, and voted on Tuesday and before. When we come back, morning motivation and what's already happening in the soon-to-be Trump administration. 99.1 WDJY, you're going up the middle. Smell nasty. Do you want to freshen it up a little bit? Go to aromabypeter.com. Check out all of Peter's candles. It's what we burn here in Studio Yergs. I'm burning right now leather scented candle. That's right, leather scented. So go to aromabypeter.com/Yergs and check out his candles today.
I'm Jane Stahl, retired English teacher, and with my BFF, Susan Bebeck, we manage Studio B Fine Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We showcase the art of hundreds of local artists, publish books of the poetry, prose, and art of local writers, offer classes, art parties, workshops, discussion groups, cater dinners. We've even hosted a wedding. And we're here to be the go-to place for friendship, learning, and fun in our community. Virtual tours of our exhibits are available right here on Yergs Radio. Let us introduce you to some amazing art and artists.
Check out Jane Stahl and everyone at Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Please visit our YouTube channel, Talk TV 24. How's your website doing? I'll tell you how mine's doing. It's awesome. Yergs.com is gotta be the best website for anybody in podcasting or any sort of broadcast solo journalist like me. How did I get that? Limit Break Digital. Limit Break Digital did my website with Yergs.com. They did YergerGroup.com. They take care of my marketing, my branding, and help me get the message out to you. Go to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs for 10% off your next project. That's a $3,000 site, Yergs.com. And you can get 10% off that by just going to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs today. Talk to Jay. That's my guy. We all got a guy, and Jay's mine. limitbreakdigital.com. Hey gang, it's Yergs. Right now, our country is about to embark on yet another controversy. Sorry, obviously that one's no longer needed, so I got to get that cut out. I was making the graphic for the morning motivation. I didn't get a chance to do that till today. And move that up there so I can so share a screen here. I know I could have shared the screen during the commercial. Point being, it didn't have the screen to share yet. And that is today. If you fell down, if yesterday you fell down, or if you fell down yesterday, stand up today. That's by the author H.G. Wells. Now I'm forgetting. He's the father of science fiction. Herbert George Wells was born September 21st, 1866 in Bromley, Kent, to Sarah Neal and Joseph Wells, a shopkeeper and professional cricket player. Growing up under the continual threat of poverty, he attended Thomas Morley's Academy for a few years, but financial hardship forced him to leave formal education and seek employment as a draper's apprentice at the age of 14. Which one was he really known for, though? Studied Darwinism? Huh. Yeah, here's the... Became an overnight literary sensation with the publication of The Time Machine in 1895. In quick succession, he published The Island of Dr. Moreau, 1896, The Invisible Man in 1897, and The War of the Worlds in 1898. In The Island of Dr. Moreau, a shipwrecked man is left on a remote island, the home of a mad scientist who creates human-like hybrids from animals. Yeah, I saw that when I was a kid. That was, I know some of you are thinking how sexy that could be. In The Invisible Man, a brilliant research scientist discovers a method of invisibility, but finds himself unable to reverse the process. While in The War of the Worlds, a novel about an alien invasion of Earth, for some time he also acquired a reputation as a prophet of the future with the publication of The War in the Air, 1908, in which he foresaw certain developments in the military, use of aircraft, and The World Set Free, 1914, where he saw the splitting of the atom and the development of atomic bombs. Wow. He lived through both World War I and II. After World War II, he lost all confidence in the future, prompting several critics to speculate that Wells' declining health was shaping his prediction of a future without hope. In his last work, Mind at the End of Its Tether, 1945, he depicts a bleak vision of a world in which nature has rejected and is destroying humankind. He died on August 13th, 1946, at his home in London. His fantastical tales continue to fascinate audience. In recent years, several of his works have returned to the big screen, including War of the Worlds. In 2005, American science fiction disaster movie directed by Steven Spielberg. There was also the one that was told as a story on the radio by Orson Welles, I think. Yeah. You see something. War. Radio broadcast. Yeah. This was funny. I mean, it's kind of a dick move, but in The War of the Worlds was the 17th episode of the CBS radio series, The Mercury Theater on the Air, and was broadcast at 8 p.m. October 30th, day before Halloween, 1938. H.G. Wells' original novel tells the story of a Martian invasion of Earth. Yeah, so Orson Welles, different spelling, not a relation. The broadcast was an adaptation of H.G. Wells' 1898 novel, The War of the Worlds. It was directed and narrated by Orson Welles, different spelling, not related, who also starred in the play. The broadcast was part of Wells' radio series, The Mercury Theater on the Air. The broadcast included simulated breaking news bulletins, actors portraying reporters and government officials, and realistic sound effects. The broadcast was so realistic that some listeners fled their homes believing a Martian invasion was really happening. The scale of the panic was disputed as the program had relatively few listeners. I know what that's like. The broadcast led to claims in the national press that it caused mass hysteria. However, some columnists saw it as a call for media literacy and education. Fox News, you listening? All right, that as always, it'll be in the show notes. His quote today, however, oh, I missed something. It says, if fell down yesterday, stand up today. It should read, if you fell down yesterday. We'll fix that and bring that up. Stand up today. There we go. We'll re-download that and also put the better one in the show notes. The accurate one. That's pretty funny. I'm constantly busting other people's balls about being... Yes, I want to replace it. I'm constantly busting other people's stones about proofreading. Dope. Close that out. So, yeah, I mean, pick yourself up today. Stand up today. I saw another, as I was looking through various quotes, I saw another one that said that you are in charge of your own destiny. Like, yeah. And that's key. You are in charge of your own destiny. Control what you can control. That's what I was taught in umpire school. And that's important because, as you already know about me, not all of us made it to Major League Baseball. But I still controlled what I could. Had already ruled out ice hockey as a profession and moved on to law enforcement. Eventually, not right away, but definitely proud of my career in the Secret Service, although that had its speed bumps too. And two of them, were caused by, indirectly, but nevertheless by Donald Trump. 2 times during my career, I was investigated for being gay, which is an illegal investigation. It's legal. And I was able to prove that. And once I did, then everything went away rather quickly. But, oh, I think we got to cut in. President Joe Biden speaking. Oh, they're going to have a field day with this. He's already walking, stumbling.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you, please. Thank you. Good to see this cabinet and the staff together here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good to see you all. Particularly good to see my granddaughter sitting in the front row here. Hi, Finn. How are you, honey? For over 200 years, America has carried on the greatest experiment in self-government in the history of the world. And that's not hyperbole, that's a fact. We're the people. The people vote and choose their own leaders, and they do it peacefully. And we're in a democracy. The will of the people always prevails. Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory. And I assured him that I'd direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition. That's what the American people deserve. Yesterday, I also spoke with Vice President Harris. She's been a partner and a public servant. She ran an inspiring campaign, and everyone got to see something that I learned early on to respect so much, her character. She has a backbone like a ramrod. She has great character, true character. She gave her whole heart and effort, and she and her entire team should be proud of the campaign they ran. You know, the struggle for the soul of America, since our very founding, has always been an ongoing debate and still vital today. I know for some people, it's a time for victory, to state the obvious. For others, it's a time of loss. Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made. I've said many times, you can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your neighbor only when you agree. Something I hope we can do, no matter who you voted for, is see each other not as adversaries, but as fellow Americans. Bring down the temperature. I also hope we can lay to rest the question about the integrity of the American electoral system. It is honest, it is fair, and it is transparent. And it can be trusted, win or lose. I also hope we can restore the respect for all our election workers who busted their necks and took risks at the outset. We should thank them. Thank them for staffing voting sites, counting the votes, protecting the very integrity of the election. Many of them are volunteers who do it simply out of love for their country. And as they did their duty as citizens, I will do my duty as president. I'll fulfill my oath, and I will honor the Constitution. On January 20th, we'll have a peaceful transfer of power here in America. To all our incredible staff, supporters, cabinet members, all the people who've been hanging out with me for the last 4 years, God love you, as my mother would say. Thank you so much. You put so much into the past 4 years. I know it's a difficult time. You're hurting. I hear you and I see you. But don't forget all that we accomplished. It's been a historic presidency. Not because I'm president, because what we've done, what you've done. A presidency for all Americans. Much of the work we've done is already being felt by the American people, but the vast majority of it will not be felt over the next 10 years. We have legislation we passed that's just only now just really kicking in. We're going to see over $1 trillion worth of infrastructure work done, changing people's lives in rural communities and communities that are in real difficulty, because it takes time to get it done. And so much more it's going to take time, but it's there. The road ahead is clear, assuming we sustain it. There's so much we can get done and will get done based on the way the legislation was passed. And it's truly historic. You know, we're leaving behind the strongest economy in the world. I know people are still hurting, but things are changing rapidly. Together, we've changed America for the better. Now we have 74 days to finish the term, our term. Let's make every day count. That's the responsibility we have to the American people. Look, folks, you all know it in your lives. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. We all get knocked down. But the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up. Remember, a defeat does not mean we are defeated. We lost this battle. The America of your dreams is calling for you to get back up. That's the story of America for over 240 years and counting. It's a story for all of us, not just some of us. The American experiment endures. We're going to be okay, but we need to stay engaged. We need to keep going. And above all, we need to keep the faith. I'm so proud to have worked with all of you. I really mean it. I sincerely mean it. God bless you all. God bless America. And may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
There you go. Stop sharing. I don't know what that one's from, but it's another video from WFLA. Thanks to WFLA here in Tampa for that feed. I love listening to people just say a slanted. We get that from Facebook, and I'm reading some of the shit on Facebook, and yeah, that's what it is. Sorry, but I've said it. I will keep saying it. You can be a conservative. You can be a Republican and not be an asshole. You call that man who just gave that dignified speech a joke, and you think Donald Trump was good? I'm listening. Tell me why. You get back to me? Take all the time you need, because you got nothing. He had a good economy. He had a really great economy coming into 2017 that he squandered. He had an amazing reputation globally that he squandered. He's a joke. The projection these people do is pathetic. And you wonder why Trump is compared to Hitler. So, if you fell down yesterday by, say, falling for Donald Trump and his line of crap, I'll try to limit the swearing. But you fell for him and his line of crap. Pick yourself up. Move forward. We still have work to do. And God knows we still will have much more once the new guy comes in or comes back. Seriously, you would think that you learned. You would have thought that you learned. Anyway, I got to take one more break. When we come back, I do have something else. What is it? You fell down? That. Oh, I got some news. Yeah. 99.1 WDJY and the rest of the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back after these words. If I had that right, there it is. Smell nasty. Do you want to freshen it up a little bit? Go to aromabypeter.com. Check out all of Peter's candles. It's what we burn here in Studio Yergs. I'm burning right now leather scented candle. That's right, leather scented. So go to aromabypeter.com/Yergs and check out his candles today.
I'm Jane Stahl, retired English teacher, and with my BFF, Susan Bebeck, we manage Studio B Fine Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We showcase the art of hundreds of local artists publish books of the poetry, prose, and art of local writers, offer classes, art parties, workshops, discussion groups, cater dinners. We've even hosted a wedding. And we're here to be the go-to place for friendship, learning, and fun in our community. Virtual tours of our exhibits are available right here on Yergs Radio. Let us introduce you to some amazing art and artists.
Check out Jane Stahl and everyone at Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Please visit our YouTube channel, Talk TV 24. How's your website doing? I'll tell you how mine's doing. It's awesome. Yergs.com is gotta be the best website for anybody in podcasting or any sort of broadcast solo journalist like me. How did I get that? Limit Break Digital. Limit Break Digital did my website with Yergs.com. They did YergerGroup.com. They take care of my marketing, my branding, and help me get the message out to you. Go to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs for 10% off your next project. That's a $3,000 site, Yergs.com. And you can get 10% off that by just going to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs today. Talk to Jay. That's my guy. We all got a guy, and Jay's mine. limitbreakdigital.com. Hey, gang, it's Yergs. It's Yergs. I'm back. So, how about you? You back? Did you ever leave? What am I talking about? I'm talking about where I'm going later this afternoon. Let's get some background music here. Give me a second. I'm talking about where I'm going later this afternoon. Where's that? Momentum Fitness and Wellness. There we go. Music. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Formerly Monster Mouse Fitness and Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates, has updated equipment, upgraded equipment, improved equipment, new equipment, bigger space. They bought out the pet store that was next door. Now have cold plunge. I'm not President Joe Biden. In case you're seeing that on the screen. I'll take it down. And take the ticker off. There we go. Cold plunge, sauna, new stretching area, indoor and out. They're increasing their space and their presence in the CrossFit arena. And you got one of these? I'm sure you got one of these. It's a smartphone. That's how you get in. No more key tabs that you're going to lose or break or get stolen. It's just on your phone. And they give it a real easy app that you can put on your homepage or put in a folder with like utility type stuff. Wherever it's your phone. You organize it. And you just walk up, hit the button that's on your phone. The door unlocks, and then you go. Keep that Hernando Beach body. Get back that body that you had at Clearwater Beach or St. Pete Beach. Build the momentum with Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Go to MomentumFitnessandWellness.com or just show up. It's right on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates at the Arby's. Probably you don't want to go to the Arby's, but just north of the U-Haul location in the shopping center. Have at it. All right. Tell Anthony, by the way, that Yerg sent you, and you probably get some even better deal than what they're already offering. All righty. We've got some comments. That's what we'll use to wrap up today. Let these inspire me to go on a rant. Yahooligan says, I know it's not right, but I would love to see Biden punch Trump as they pass each other by. Yeah, I'd love to see it too. You know, the best thing where he did that. He actually did that. Trump can barely fit on a golf cart. Biden, as you already famously know, went for a ride on a bike at 80 years old, 79, 80 years old, however long ago that was. And he fell. Well, what did we say to do just today? Stand up, pick yourself back up. And that's what he did at 79, 80, 81 years old. He got back up and he got back on the bike. When Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg was grilled about that incident in a hearing, Secretary Buttigieg famously replied, "Well, I'm just glad we've got a president who can ride a bike," slamming the incoming one. Yeah, you hooligan, I feel you, but we got to take that step up. When we get up, we got to step up. We got to hold ourselves to a higher standard, even as a minority. Lead the country in the proper direction. And hopefully the sheep that followed Trump will also follow us. Donald Trump is going to both take credit of everything Joe got done and blame him for it. Yeah, we've seen that already. We've seen that already. And he gets called out for it. One of the things the media has done decently well, I think. He gets called out for it. And what do the sheep do? Bah. I used to have that as a sound effect. Oh, I got to find that. I got to find that. That would be way too cool. Because, I mean, there's, what is it, 68 million of you? Yeah. I'm trying to convince myself to stay positive, to not engage in the gloating. It's a lesson because as I see how others are behaving, you hear me, Trump supporters, it's I don't know, it's kind of sad. Like, you dress like that, rainbow color, or not rainbow, well, yeah, that's sad too. I'm not a fan. Simple, subtle things, but walking down the street in a rainbow jockstrap, that's not pride. But red, white, and blue, and then you say you're not part of a cult, just say you're part of a cult. That's okay. You can be weird. Say you're part of a cult. I'm going to try to put that photo in on this today. But say you're part of a cult. Nothing wrong with that. If you fell down, yeah, it's corrected. Stand up today. Yeah, he's going to take credit for like the infrastructure. I think it was my baby brother, when he visited, we drove out of the Walmart parking lot, and there was this space off to the right of the roadway between the highway and the parking lot, basically wasted grass area. But it was recently redone. It's overflow for like drainage, runoff from the weather and whatever. And it's really beautiful. And my brother commented on it. So, wow, that looks cool. Didn't expect to see that. And also around this time, we were just putting palm trees in the median throughout the highway. So our section of US 19 doesn't look too bad. And I slammed on the brakes right at the sign, crediting the Biden administration for funding and implementing that infrastructure improvement. Nothing there about Gus Bilirakis, our congressman. Nothing there about Rick Scott, our bought and paid for senator. I say bought and paid for by his own money from Joe Biden in a very Republican area. And my brother didn't know what to say. So yeah, you're right, human F being. He's going to take credit. He's already blamed, and so are his sheep. He's already blamed things for good things. We've got the best economy in the world. It doesn't just go everything's sunflowers and pots of gold and rainbows. Yeah, you thought the gay guy would have mentioned that one sooner, huh? And whatever else. It takes time. And you're going to learn. Thank God. Hopefully, the rest of the government is strong enough to resist his desire for a third term. I'm telling you, it's coming. I would love to be wrong, to sit here in this chair or whatever chair I've gotten 4 years from now and say, yes, I was wrong. Thank God I was wrong. I would love nothing more than that. But I can't do my job. Part of my job, having been in the federal government under Donald Trump, is to let you know what's coming. He is not there for you. Stop thinking that. Get ready. Grab your ankles. Lastly, Neil Thompson says the Joe Finger blow kiss. Yeah, probably. More of him giving the finger would be a meme that comes by the end of the day, because he's entering into a much deserved retirement. He pointed out his granddaughter in the front row. Yeah. A moment that he deserves. Very much so. Very, very much so. I got a chance to sit and talk with him at the end of the Obama administration. What happens with, in case you're not aware, we are the only country in the world that protects our former heads of state and heads of government for life. For a while, there was a 10-year thing that Clinton signed into law, mostly because of manpower, mostly because of a lack of threat on them. Well, then 9/11 happened, and people like the Johnsons passed away, the Fords passed away, the Reagans passed away, and suddenly our protective responsibilities were loosened up some. Bush then got rid of that because he would have been the first one to only get it for 10 years after leaving office. Well, bad guys like ISIL and ISIS and all of them don't forgive. They don't say, oh, well, it's over. Get over it. No, they don't get over it. And so I got it as vice president. They're protected for 6 months or so, a little bit longer, kind of eased out of it. And so he was no longer flying Air Force Two. My last responsibility before leaving DC for Los Angeles I was the lead agent at Reagan International Airport, DCA, or Washington National, Reagan, Washington. It's a combination. It depends. Often also depends on what party you are. Like the Republicans call it Washington Reagan. Democrats call it Washington National. They don't put Reagan in there. And I got to say, he was flying commercial, and we're in the VIP lounge. And we're just sitting there, and I've checked on the flight. The customer service folks know we're there, of course, and they're going to come get us when we're ready. I have a police counterpart from the airport. We've got the working shift. We got a proper amount of security all over. I can't say more details than that. And so I'm standing there looking all up, and the boss is like, "Sit down, take a seat, go say hi." And of course, we didn't know he was going to be president, but still to sit down alongside of a just recently sitting vice president, especially with the history that he did, especially with the right to marry and how that affects me. It was just good to sit down and realize there's a certain level of good old boy in him that some people might not like. But it's a good old boy that is going to help you and use those good old boy connections to help you. And not help themselves. That's it, gang. I am over time, so I probably already lost WDJY in Atlanta. We'll say hello to them tomorrow. Say hello to all of you again tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, 4 p.m. London time, when we are live in London, as we are every Friday. We're live throughout the rest of the Tampa Bay tomorrow, also Las Vegas on KSHP, and go to mastiff.media. Remember, .media is a website ending, just like the UG.media, our London station. Mastiff.media will be able to show you exactly where all we're going to be continuing as we start to cut some of the platforms that are underperforming, as well as you can get the new video feed of the live show. Thanks for joining again. You've been running with the big dogs, straight up the middle. We'll see you tomorrow.
Listens for 18 minutes. Mm-hmm. The average fan listens for, are you ready for this? An hour and 20 minutes.
How can that be?
Answer most commonly given. I want to see what he'll say next.
All right, okay, fine. But what about the people who hate Yergs?
Good point. The average skater listens for 2.5 hours a day.
Look, but if they hate him, why do they listen?
Most common answer, I want to see what he'll say next.
You've changed. You know that?
Yes, I suppose I have. How about this? Peace, love, dope.